Hello, I'm Robert Kelly. Welcome to a Record All Monsters special. We're here with, of course, Courtney.
Hi.
And with Anri Hata, our language consultant and guest on the previous full episode.
Hi.
So, we just sat down to watch some Tokusatsu TV.
Yep.
This was just at the stage of the genre's development that we're in the main line of the show. We started to get to a lot of TV. TV was becoming the big thing. So we had to talk about it at some point, and this was the place to talk about it. And I thought Anri was the perfect person to talk about it because Anri, if y'all haven't figured out, and I know we discussed it last time, you are Japanese from Japan.
Surprise!
And you grew up with this kind of stuff just in the culture a lot more than it is here. So the first thing we watched 3 episodes of 2 TV shows. We watched the first episode of Friendly Monster Booska.
Yep.
And then we watched 2 episodes of the first Ultraman series. So let's talk about Friendly Monster Booska first. Anri, why don't you tell us about your introduction to Booska?
So, I have no idea like how Booska became Booska, but when I was a little, we used to go to like a Best Buy in Japan, and there's a like alarm clock section, and my brother and I found the Booska alarm clock, and that's all I knew. And that Booska alarm clock like sings like I am Booska, I love ramen, like just give me 30 bowls of ramen. And he just sings over and over, and that was his alarm clock, and yeah, that was our favorite Booska.
So Anri told me about this alarm clock back in the fall.
Yeah, a while ago.
And I had done an interlibrary loan to get the August Dragone book, Eiji Tsuburaya, Master of Monsters. And when she told me about this, I had just read about Booska for the first time. I was like, wait. And I like found a picture of one of the toys or something, and I was like, I have to find this. And it took some doing, and there's going to be a link to where I found it in the show description. I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But the link will be in the description. So, Anri, can you? We don't normally operate this way on this show, but can you tell us what happened in the first episode of Friendly Monster Booska?
So Booska is an iguana, like a pet iguana, and the boy who's, I guess, scientist, I say, trying to experiment Booska. He was originally trying to make him 300 times bigger than what his original size is. It didn't work out, but he got a little bigger, and he negotiated with Booska. Apparently Booska can make himself bigger than what he is right now. So they had a deal. The boy will give him 30 bowls of ramen, and Booska will become 300 times bigger than what his original size is. Which is about adult male size?
Roughly man size.
Yeah. so the boy is not gonna get embarrassed in front of the friends.
He was like, oh, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to show he failed. ish, I guess.
Yeah. Even though that's part of science.
Yeah, but he wanted to show off his skills. So. And so they had a deal, and Booska became big. The boy introduced Booska, and what was it? Why? Oh yeah, so he was just what was it? Oh, the boy and the friend trying to make Booska mad because when Booska get mad, he steamed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Booska was running away from them, and Booska got hit by the truck, and the truck
It bounced off his belly.
bounced off his belly, flew to the sky, and exploded. So the police came trying to arrest Booska and take him to the animal shelter.
Yes.
And kids tried to rescue the Booska. They successfully did.
Well,
Ish.
yeah. So the Booska hides in the sewer from the police.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. I
And
forgot
then
about
the
that part.
kids and this one random shop owner
Yeah.
decide that they have to go rescue Booska. And the way they decide on doing this is the kids load themselves into a cannon, and the adult says, first he says, "Good luck,"
Yeah.
and
You
then
just say good luck.
he lights the fuse, which is like 15 feet long, off this giant cannon, and he fires it into the air and yells, "Success!" And then the cannonball explodes, and there's a miniature, it is a miniature, but it's a dog, like a wiener dog.
Yeah. And the
And
kids
it
are
has
in
a
the window.
parachute. And it has a parachute, and it floats down into the pound. And the kids crawl out of it pretending to be dogs. And the dog catchers catch them and put them in jail.
Yeah.
And then the shop owner just leaves, I guess, and runs into Booska in the street. And he's like, "Oh, you're here. We were gonna try. The kids went in to save you to the animal shelter." And Booska's like, "Well, I'll go get him." And he just walks in.
Yeah. Booska's like, I heard the boy says help, and he just flew to wherever the kids are.
Oh yeah, he just dropped that guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he flew over the wall of the animal shelter. And the shop owner was on his back, and he was so surprised that Booska flew that he just fell, like just plump. And it was this wonderful miniature of Booska with like a Amigo doll on his back. Just like, whoop. Oh, and it was like legitimately and honestly funny.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very silly. And Booska walks into the...
Yeah, they casually walk by and say, "Hello, friends. Please stand back." And he just helped the kids.
And he bent the bars of the jail. And he's like, "Come on." And then they all walk
skip
off.
off into
Skip off into the sunset.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So that was the first episode of Friendly Monster Booska. And I don't think any of us really knew what to expect.
There was no ramen being eaten in it except for that one guy.
Yeah, it was not even a Booska.
But that's so I had done beforehand. I'd looked up a little bit on I think it was on Wikizilla, or it may have been on the Ultraman wiki, about just what's up with Booska. What's his deal? It's what you Google. What's Booska's deal? No. And I didn't get a lot of information. There was very scant information. But it was like Booska was an iguana. He likes to eat ramen. And he's a recurring character in the new Ultra series.
Oh, so he's like a new Ultra series?
So yeah, the like from the 90s on, Booska has shown... He had his own new series.
No?
And then he's shown up And that ran for like 2 seasons.
Okay.
And then he has shown up ever since in just every now and then in the running Ultraman stuff. Like I think the last time he showed up was in 2019.
Oh, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was Booska, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
What we watched was not subtitled. Anri kind of commentated for us, letting us know what was going on, but for the most part, the visuals tell the whole story.
Yeah, you don't even have to like see the subtitles or translation. It was just that obvious.
There were just a few times that we were like, "Wait, what happened?"
Yeah.
And she'd explain, but it was a lot of fun. Like, look this up. Watch Booska.
Yeah, I think everybody can understand. Like, even it's only a Japanese audios.
Our friend from Monster Kid Radio, Derek, always says we all speak the universal language of monsters. So like he talks about luchador movies that can't find them with English subtitles or dubs. So I mean, we're just here to watch El Santo punch some vampires. We all speak the universal. We all speak the universal language of kaiju.
I like that. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So
Booska proved it.
we're gonna. Did you have something, Courtney?
I was just thinking. I was trying to figure out what he reminded me of, and he looks like a little giraffe.
I think the pattern of his skin.
Yeah, and he's like that same kind of like tawny color, and he's got the big eyes, and he has even his crown looks like those little ossicans.
Knobs.
But he's a iguana. That was a surprise.
There was a little Godzilla cameo too. When the boy is explaining to his friends what his plan is.
Oh, that's right,
and he just says, well, I'm going to make him about as big as Godzilla. And then there's just a clip from the first Godzilla movie. But that is Friendly Monster Booska. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And then we'll be back to discuss the 2 episodes of Ultraman we watched. Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, host and writer of Record All Monsters, and this is an ad for Anchor. That's right, it's an ad for Anchor, and if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. I was really intimidated at first to start this show until I heard about Anchor, and there were a few things that made me feel more at ease to begin. First of all, it's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so that it can be heard on a number of platforms, including whichever one you're listening to it on right now. You can even make a little money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And even their ads are easy. The mandatory call to action is something I can state freely. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Doesn't that feel good? This has been an ad for Anchor, and I've been Robert Kelly, host and writer of Record All Monsters. Welcome back to this Record All Monsters Tokusatsu TV special. We're here with Courtney, and we're here with Anri, our language consultant on this show, and that's your official title.
I like that title.
Because
it sounds very fancy.
You really help me, like when I have pronunciation stuff, or can you read this real quick, like just this line, like so I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that we're finally able to have you on the show, and for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
We recorded the previous episode with Anri about a month ago, but you'll be hearing them back to back.
Yeah.
I didn't know what order they were going to be in at that time, and I've settled on this. But now, let's talk about Ultraman.
Yeah. Love the openings.
Yes, this song. I won't do too much. I don't want to get copyright struck on my YouTube versions. Which we are on. We do post all the episodes on YouTube, usually the same day that they go up on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, wherever you listen. usually by the end of the day on Friday it'll be up. And you can like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Every video. Comment something nice. Tell me my eyes are pretty. You can't see me in those videos like John Cena in that way. Is John Cena still like a thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, that's... I've gone on a tangent. Ultraman! The end. No. So we watched the first episode of Ultraman. Courtney, can you explain what we saw for that?
So there's like a group of, are they astronauts?
They're called the Science Patrol.
Science Patrol, yeah. And one of them gets injured, and he finds out that, I'm not explaining this very good, he is basically dying, and this robot alien says that he'll meld their lives together, and he gives him this capsule so he could turn into Ultraman, like the Superman thing where he goes into the booth, kind of. And that was kind of... he said he was trying to defeat this monster, and
Bemular.
and the monster was on Earth, and it was in this lake. So they fight with the monster, and it's a pretty fun fight.
It is. And one thing, so I've lived with Ultraman for a few years now, like maybe 5 or 6 years.
He's a good roommate.
He is. He cleans up after himself. He keeps the kitchen clean. He gets on me about the kitchen, actually. No, but I was very surprised because I knew that the legacy of Ultraman here in the West is more so in like Power Rangers, because it's like how Tokusatsu evolved and then eventually got over here. Which Tokusatsu in Japanese just kind of means special effects, right?
Yeah.
But it's like a whole genre of practical special effects. So I expected it to kind of be on the Power Rangers mold, where it would be like, oh, here's this giant monster, this regular sized monster, and oh, we fought it, so it got mad and got big. Now we have to get big. Kind of like Jet Jaguar in Godzilla vs. Megalon, or Super Inframan, the Shaw Brothers Ultraman Kamen Rider knockoff.
Yeah.
Which we will cover on this show, don't you worry. Ultraman's cool. He has kind of the same impact culturally in Japan as like Superman.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I might be wrong, but it's either Kamen Rider or Ultraman.
And they kind of hold like a similar place.
Yeah, it's same superheroes.
Yeah.
It's just either you're the grasshopper or the alien. Yeah.
So Kamen Rider is supposed to evoke a grasshopper, right? It's like,
yeah, I saw he's a fly for some reason.
Okay.
But I think he is a grasshopper. I don't know much about the Kamen Rider because I was more towards the Ultraman.
Yes.
So I don't know much about the Kamen Rider, but I think he's a grasshopper, not the fly.
But your little brother liked Ultraman.
Yeah, when they were little, they love Ultraman, so we watched together, and that's how I know a little bit about Ultraman.
And then the second episode of Ultraman we watched was the Monster Anarchy Zone.
Yeah,
which was
that was cool.
There was chaos and fun.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a very fast-moving,
Yeah.
fun episode.
Yeah.
The tiny head monster.
Red King. He looks like a corn on the cob that someone drew a face on the top kernel.
Yeah.
And he's a cool looking monster, but it is also really weird that it's like
Really weird and mean monsters.
he's such a jerk.
Yeah, he straight up
Super mean.
rips that one's arm off.
What's the name of the one? I think the one he ripped the arm. Yeah, his name is Chandler.
Chandler?
Is
Chandler?
that the butt-looking one?
Yeah, and he had like tusks.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's kind of like the tusks reminded me of Gamera, and then
The
the
wings.
wings reminded me of Rodan a little bit. So
And then there was another underground monster. I think that was Magula.
I like that one.
The spiky one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Courtney loves spiky underground crawly monsters.
Yeah, like in the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla show,
Or the Earth Eater.
first ones, there's like this monster that is like a machine kind of, and it lives underground, and its mouth is like one of those like
It's like a bulldozer.
bulldozer, yeah. And I don't know why, I just super like them.
Well, like Anguirus, Baragon.
Yeah. They remind me of Stegosauruses and Ankylosauruses, and I really like both of those, so.
But yeah, it's even hard to kind of summarize Monster Anarchy Zone. Like
Yeah.
some people are missing on this island that shifted its location somehow.
Was it like earthquake and volcano happens at the same
Something
time?
like that. And then the Science Patrol goes to find out, and as soon as they get there, there's just like monsters punching the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And then there's Pigmon.
Yes. He's also spiky too.
Yes. And he gets a balloon shot on him.
And
So they can keep track of him.
So he looks like a super happy monster with a pink balloon.
Yes. Or like a little kid, like I feel like that's something that I've probably done or thought about doing at a party.
Like tying a balloon to a child to keep track of them?
Yes. Indeed.
I actually did that to one of our nieces.
Did it work well?
Yes, until she realized that it was attached to her. Then she was like, you can't, I'm like waving my hands
Which
behind.
niece was this?
Isa.
Issa, yeah. By your voice, I figured you were doing.
So,
Not that Issa sounds like that, but when he does Issa impressions, that's the voice.
so all in all, everything we watched tonight, what was everyone's impression? Like good, bad, fun?
It was fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. They used the really good well-made dioramas.
Dioramas?
Yeah.
The Tsuburaya's model work is always so, it's detailed. Even when it looks like a little off, it's so detailed. And when it's off, it's usually in such a way that it's almost showing off the craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And I really like that. We talked about that a little bit with Austin
Yeah.
when he was on for Mothra.
It's kind of, there was a point where they were walking through and it was like first the model and then it went to the people and they were like in the bushes or something, and I was like, how did they get them so tiny?
Because
the model.
Well, because the model, it looks like a model, but it looks real.
Yeah.
It's detailed.
Yeah. But I had to tell my brain, wait a second, that's not how it goes.
But I really think that is a testimony to Tsuburaya's work.
Yes.
And at this point in the show, I've gushed about Tsuburaya so much. I really love him and his ethos. There's a quote from him, and I think I'm going to end this episode with it.
that little monster with the balloon.
Pigmon.
Pigmon. He made the one survivor of the Monster Anarchy place.
Yeah, 3 others are gone.
Yeah.
And Pigmon was keep one guy alive.
And he said that Pigmon made him believe in God.
Well, basically, because Eiji Tsuburaya, well, he was a Catholic convert, and I think we've talked about that a couple of times on the show. And I am complicatedly Catholic. We can unpack that at a later date. But the quote I'm looking for is, so this is a quote from Eiji Tsuburaya, and he fought very hard to make the Godzilla movies specifically family and child friendly. Mm-hmm. And I think he let there be a little more violence in Ultraman because kids were watching it at home with their parents, so they could be like, oh no, it's okay. But when you're dropping the kids off at a matinee, then if monsters are gushing blood everywhere, it's like, whoa! But this is the quote. He says, "My heart and mind are as they were when I was a child. Then I loved to play with and to read tales of magic. I still do. My wish is only to make life happier and more beautiful for those who will go and see my films of fantasy." And, yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it just... I think maybe that's part of why these movies connect so well with me, because he was such a big influence on it. And he had a lot of the same kind of guiding ethos that I try to have in my life. So, here's to... I did an interview earlier today where at the end of it we toasted to the dwarf wrestler who played Minya in the Godzilla movies, Little Man Manchin. So let's end this one by toasting to Eiji Tsuburaya and all his Tokusatsu TV creations.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud. And thank you for listening. You've been great. All of you.
Yeah.
Here in the room, I mean. You all have been great. Thank you.
Thank you.
But listeners, you are also great.
Except for you.
Don't do that.
You know who you are.
Okay, this is going off the rails. Remember that monsters are your friends, and we'll see you next time.